Hello, my name is Mary Davenport and I'm making this YouTube video because I did a deposition last week where instructional leader, assistant superintendent from another district could say that he was observing my class from the hallway. The reason I'm doing this video because Michigan is a right-to-work state. It's coming to be ridiculous for teachers. It's becoming dangerous for us to work in the classroom when people can make false accusations against you. Last week I was in a deposition where a teacher could say that I was mean to the students. She couldn't even articulate how I was mean to the students. But this is a teacher who, in her last year working at J.W. Sexton, I did a beautification program. I had guest speakers like Joe Ferguson, Michael Burton, several individuals come and speak to my students. But this one teacher could testify that I'm mean to the students and can get away with saying she doesn't even have to give details. Another problem that came up in that deposition, it was from an assistant superintendent from the Ingham ISD. I'm going to read you his letter, and I'm going to ask you teachers out there, can somebody observe your students' engagement from the hallway? He said that he could gauge this from the hallway. He could see my kids not being engaged. If you walk into my former classroom and the way my desk and my teacher station was located, you would only be able to see me from the hallway. So I'm going to read you this highly instructional leader's statement. I received a phone call from the Ingham ISD on April 16, 2018. They received a letter addressed to me in the care of the Ingham ISD. I picked up the letter on my way home from the Eaton RESA and turned out to be a subpoena for a deposition for Davenport versus Lansing School District, case number 116CV129. Now he's going to give you some background information. Background regarding Ms. Davenport, as I remember it. Notes, I don't have access to my former Ingham ISD calendar, so I don't know exactly, he doesn't know exactly when he came into my classroom. But he can give you this observation. Fall 2015-2016, wrong date. This occurred in fall 2014-2015. Sexton High School was identified as a priority school by the Michigan Department of Education for low English arts math scores on the state assessments. In the fall of 2015, I was assigned to Sexton High School as the instructional specialist school improvement facilitator. In this role, I conducted a regular classroom walkthroughs to report progress to the school, district leadership toward improvements in student engagement, and issue the school leadership. Those were, I simply tally the percentage of the classroom that had more than 80% of the students in the classroom engaged in the lesson, activity, or class discussion. I would report the progress to either the school principal or the school improvement coordinator. One day, late fall, early winter, he doesn't even know when he came in my classroom. As I moved from classroom to classroom, sequentially down the halls, Sexton, I observed students in Miss Davenport's classroom. I was in the classroom for about 20 minutes that day. I was in the classroom for about 20 minutes. Miss Davenport was not present, but it looked like a sub. I believe the other adult was a sub. I'm not present, but the assistant superintendent is in a tenure hearing stating that Sean Williams is the one that said that I wasn't instructing my students properly. But here's Sean saying he didn't observe me. He didn't observe me at all. But later on, I approached this stranger in the hall, according to Sean, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, who are you and why are you in my classroom?" I responded by explaining that I was a consultant from the Ingham ISD and helping with the school improvement. I further explained that I'm not conducting teacher evaluations, a common concern with teachers, rather simply observing student engagement as the school-wide. This is the only time I spoke to Ms. Davenport this year that I can recall. Okay, now he's going to say a month later, he was in a meeting with the powers of be of the Lansing School District. This interaction between me, where I said, "Excuse me, sir," now has been changed to, "I'm rude, I'm aggressive, I'm an angry black woman." But listen to him. I said, "Excuse me, sir. My mother and father taught me manners." That means I approached him in a professional way. But let's go on and see what he says about what occurred at the meeting with the powers of be. At the next district monthly updating meeting, I shared that accounting with the district level administrating team supporting the priority school efforts to let them know that Ms. Davenport was visibly upset about me being in her classroom. What part of "Excuse me, sir, who are you and why were you in my classroom" makes an African American teacher visibly upset? He could have been a white man there with a gun. That's a safety issue. Me asking somebody why they're in my classroom. Who are they there to visit? Are they there to visit a student, or are they there to visit the professional teacher? But he took this as that I'm rude. Okay, so he said this happened during 2/15/2016, wrong date again. This group consisted of Laura, the Ingham ID consultant, 4 Lansing School Administrator, Mark Casarella, the Deputy Superintendent, somebody named Benjamin, and Delsa Chapman, Mary Love. They're all sitting around a round table, and they're worried about Mary Davenport, what she's doing, teaching her special education students at Sexton. And he further explains to the group that I'm rude. And I was rude to him by asking him, "Excuse me, sir, who are you and why are you in my classroom?" He said, "I cannot call at this specific meeting exactly who was present." I further explained to the group by this time in the school year where I was from, my purpose was visiting the classroom at Sexton High School. That's all he was there for. Another district cannot evaluate another teacher from another district. So this is all bull, okay? The district team asked me if students appeared not to be engaged in Ms. Davenport's classroom. I told them that on that day, Ms. Davenport was not present and most of the students appeared not to be engaged. But Mark Casarelli says in the tenure hearing that Sean Williams alerted him that I was not teaching in my class. However, I said I freely walk by Ms. Davenport's class when she's present and students seldom appear engaged. Okay, professionals, can you observe students' engagement from the hallway? He said he walked by. He didn't say he stood outside my door for a few minutes to see what's going on. He said he walked by. Can you do a teacher observation or tally engagement that way properly? I'm asking you educators. He goes on and says that I wasn't engaging the students properly, and they're having these meetings. He said the kids were horseplaying, and doing all this kind of behavior, but he's the specialist. He did not come back and offer any support. This is round one of my YouTube video expressing my dissatisfaction how education has become. Anybody, this is a warning, Anybody can falsely accuse you of anything in the 21st century in those classrooms, and you cannot prove yourself. You will be not able to say this is false, that this man, I never even met this man, never even seen this man. Until I met him at a meeting, and I did go up to him and ask him, did he knew who I was? He had no idea. But then he goes back in and saying, I'm the angry black woman. I'm not angry. I'm not just gonna let an educator get away of saying that I observed a teacher from the hallway. Thank you for listening, and please follow more.